Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. So today we would like to discuss about the occupational safety and health. So the discussion will be conducted by Abdurrahman bin Zahrullah, me myself, Farisha Farhana binti Zulkifli, and also Nurhana binti Abdul Razak. So now for the content of our discussion today, the first one is about roles of Oshe legal requirements in business management, and also the Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia and its salient features. But before that, we would like to explain a deeply general introduction regarding to the occupational safety, health and environment. So the establishment of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, in 1970 reflected the recognition that safety in the workplace is a basic requirement for every organization. The occupational health and safety is the discipline concerned with preserving and protecting human resources in the workplace. So the occupational health deals with all aspects of health and safety in the workplace. It's strongly focusing on primary prevention of hazards. The health of the workers have several determinants such as risk factors at the workplace that leading to injury and disease. So, the objectives of occupational safety, health, and environment, it is to secure the safety, health, and welfare of persons at work against risk. It is also to protect a person at a workplace of work other than persons at work against risk. It is also to promote on occupational environment for persons at work which is adapted to their physiological and psychological needs. And last, to provide the means towards the legislative system based on regulation and industry codes of practice in combination with the provisions of the Act. So the Acts bonding all organizations in Malaysia, including the Factory and Machinery 1967, FMA 1967, and also Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, which is also known as OSHA 1994. So for the first one, Factory and Machinery 1967, in the year of 1967, the Factory and Machinery Act was approved by the Parliament of Malaysia. In 1970, the Factory and Machinery Act and 8 regulations under the Act were enforced. This Act was legislated to overcome the weakness in the Machinery Ordinance 1953. So, which is they were not protected if they are working in a workplace that does not use machinery. For the second one is Occupational Safety and Health Act. The purpose of this act is to promote and encourage occupational safety and health awareness among workers and to create organization along with effective safety and health measures. So main principles that had been taken as the foundation in the drafting of this act is self-regulation, consultation, tripartite, and also cooperation. For the first one, self-regulation, it is to handle issues relating to occupational safety and health. Employees must develop a good and orderly management system. So starting with formation of a safety and health policy, and consequently, employers have to make the proper arrangement to be carried out. For the second one is consultation tripartite, where employers, employees, and the government must negotiate to settle issues and problems relating to occupational safety and health at the workplace. And for the last one is cooperation, where employers and employees must cooperate to take care, nurture, and to increase the quality of occupational safety and health at the workplace. Without cooperation between employees and these employees, none of the occupational safety and health programs will be succeed. So what do you think, Abdul Rahman?
Yes, I agree with that. So before that, we will cover about the roles of occupational safety and health, OSH, legal requirement in business management. With the roles, it's covered in the Acts of Law in the part of the occupational safety and health development in OSHA in 1994. So let's go for the details about the roles. So occupational safety and health is compliant with the OSH requirement pursuant to national laws and regulation and practice. So the employee of the management should show strong leadership and commitment to OSH activities in the organization and make appropriate arrangement for the establishment of an OSH MS. The system shall contain the main element for a few, like you can, it contain a few elements. So the first one is policy, organizing, planning, and implementation, evaluation, and action for improvement. So it comes out with five elements. So the first element is about the policy. The second element is about the organizing. The third element is about the planning and implementation. The fourth is about the evaluation. When we got evaluation, we go for the last step is about the action for improvement. However, this policy is come out not from the 1994 Acts of Law, but it's come with the source of the ILO OSH 2001 implementation manual. So let's, however, it's still covered in the OSHA. So what is the first step about the policy? So the policy include activities related to the development of the organization, occupational safety and health policy statement, and structure and practice that ensure active and meaningful worker participation in OSH arrangement. So then we go to the second step, which is organizing. Organizing will go for the address, the establishment of OSH responsibilities and accountabilities structures, a training system, competency definition, documentation practice, and a communication system. Then we go to the planning and implementing when we already organized. So we go for the planning and implementing, which is the address those activities associated with the fulfillment of the principle expressed in the OSH policy statement. This activity include the initial assessment of the OSH arrangement that then support the actual system planning, development, and implementation function. Then we go after we plan, then we go for the evaluate, which is the evaluation section, which is address those function associated with measuring the management system's performance. This involves the development of performance monitoring and measurement protocols, investigation practice for accident, auditing methods, and management review arrangement. Then when we already evaluate, we go for the action for improvement, the OSH, which is address issue associated with the preventive operative action and continual improvement. With the information obtained from performance monitoring and measurement, investigation, audit, and management review, appropriate prevention of corrective and continual improvement action can be taken. So we go for the hierarchy of legal standing. So in the hierarchy, we state about the four levels in this legal of the legal standing. So the first one is about the peak of the pyramid is come out with the act. The second level is about the regulation. The third one is industry code of practice, and the base of the pyramid comes with the guidelines. So the act will state about the general rules that endorsed by Parliament. The regulation will details about will go for the details of act that endorsed by Minister. And then the third one is very familiar about the industry code of practice that comes out with any code standard rules specification related to OSH and approved by minister. This we can see in the Act of Laws of the OSH in the 1994. Like all of us refer for the safety and health department. So the baseline is about the guideline, which is comes in the technical advisory document by National Commission, detailed information and no legal standing. So the last one I will cover about the roles of OSHA. And the roles of OSHA is comes out with a few big points. So first one is of course we cover about the safety and health organization. So the notification. Then the second one is about the notification of accident. The third one is prohibition against use of plant or substance. Then we go for the industry code of practice. Then enforcement and investigation. Then liability for offence. Then appeals and regulation. So all of this we can see, like I said before, we can see in the as of law in the of the occupational safety and health and environment, but it not provide in this paragraph. So you can see in the point in the part in the part in part by part of the area of law. So here is the roles of OSHA. However, all the worker need to follow the not just follow by the OSHA that has been set by the government. So we also need to follow by the company rules and regulation. It depends on industry that state by the. It depends on the certain industry that state their own rules. So how about Hannah? You will go for the occupational.
Okay, yes. Okay, I will talk about Occupational Safety and Health Act in Malaysia and its salient features. Legislation on Occupational Safety and Health (OSH). The main legislation directly related to the occupational safety and health matters for the industry are the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 and the Factories Machinery Act 1967, which are enforced by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health under the Ministry of Human Resources. Regulation and orders. The regulation and orders that made under the Act is Occupational Safety and Health, Employer Safety and Health General Policy Statement Exception Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Control of Industrial Major Accident Hazard Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Committee Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Classification Labeling of Safety Data Sheet of Hazardous Chemical Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Officer Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Prohibition of Use of Substance Regulation, Occupational Safety and Health Use of Standard of Exposure of Chemical Hazardous to Health, Occupational Safety and Health Notification of Accident, Dangerous Occurrence, Occupational Poisoning and Occupational Disease, Occupational Safety and Health Officer Orders, Occupational Safety and Health Prohibition of Use of Substance. There are guidelines for this act which emphasize the requirement for compliance in order to assist the industries in complying with the legislation. There is the general guidelines, chemical guidelines, competency guidelines, agriculture, forestry and fishing guidelines, building, construction and engineering work guidelines, hierarchy guidelines, industrial hygiene guidelines, and occupational health guidelines. The salient features of the Act include first, the establishment of the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health and COSH. Second, the duty to formulate safety and health policy. Third, the establishment of safety and health committee at the place of work and the use of. And fourth, the appointment of safety and health officer in certain classes of industries. The conclusion of this discussion, we can conclude that Occupational Safety and Health Administration (OSHA) requires the protection of the employees by the employers from the workplace hazards that causing injury. Health worker health and well-being is an important aspect of workers' motivation and job satisfaction, which influence the productivity as well as retention. This good effort can be as a guideline for the employers and employees for securing the safety, health and welfare at work.
Okay, thank you for your deep explanation and also contribution. But before we end our discussion, would you like to add something to our discussion, Hannah, Nur Hannah?
Yes. For me, the employees must follow the employer's guideline that have been provided in a company to reduce the hazard at workplace. Okay.
What about Abdurrahman?
Yes, I'm agree with Nurhana. So all of the employees must be follow all the rules and regulation. All the details that I state before is refer to the official article of the OSHA, or Occupational Safety and Health and Environment, that has been stated by the ministry and government. So I'm also agree with Hannah that all the employees must follow the rules and regulation that state by the company. All the employees must follow the rules and regulation by the official of the OSHA, but all the employees must also follow the rules that has been stated by company, because not all the company cover the same field, like the rules and regulation that has been set by the country. So that's all from me. Thank you and stay safe.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. So I would like to end our discussion for now. Stay safe and keep social distancing. Thank you.
Okay.